Hello, fellow crews. This is Shon from Not Your Average Cruise Channel. I'm joined by my wife, Juanita. And in this video, we're going to talk about all the lessons we learned when we pack for our cruises. The do's, the don'ts, some really good stuff right after this. Okay, so one of the things we're going to talk about on this video is the things that we did pack, um, and some lessons we learned from how we pack. Because in the previous video, I told you my great idea of what I thought I should pack, which I pretty much could pack in like a grocery sack. uh,
Yep.
some shorts and t-shirts, multicolor
Athletic shorts,
athletic shorts. So
jersey knit.
that was my idea of packing. But we've since learned,
Thank goodness.
or I have learned.
hmm
So tell me, electronic wise, what items would you bring?
I think what I noticed first is in a cruise, in your room, there aren't a lot of plugs.
No.
In your house, there's almost a plug on every wall.
Yes.
In a cruise, I feel like there was maybe one in the bathroom, maybe one in the room.
I think there was one in the bathroom. I don't remember there being
Yeah.
one in the bathroom.
And so you learn real quickly that if you have a phone, iPad, if there are two of you, that's two phones, iPad, if you have a watch, if you have a laptop, any of that kind of stuff, you're going to want it fully charged. So what we found works, you can't take a surge protector, but there are those cords you can order that have a place for 4 or 5 outlets, and you can
Yeah.
plug it into the wall. And so that was really good. That was something I was glad
Yeah.
we had.
I think after the experience of having it the first time and seeing how much it was needed, I kind of went kind of crazy for
A little bit,
the next few
a little
cruises.
bit. Uh-huh.
I have lots of them
hmm
now. I'm not sure how I would ever use four at the same time, but nonetheless, that's what I thought I needed to do
hmm
because they are really helpful. I'm
Yeah,
not sure you need to go out and buy four.
you
Um,
do not. You do not.
no,
You do
don't.
not.
Yeah, don't do that. But hey, I have them, and
hmm
I'm determined on the next cruise. I'm going to pack multiple. So I'm going to pack two, one as a backup, right? Because you never know.
Sure, sure. And we did take, if you're taking children with you, it is
Yeah,
good to have multiple
yeah,
because if they're in a different room or the same room, you will need probably more than one. So
yeah,
what's next?
yeah, absolutely.
hmm
And by the way, any of the cruise tips we give you for packing don't apply to kids unless you pack for them. They're not
mm
going to listen anyway. They're just going
No,
to do their own thing.
no.
Who knows what they're going to put in the bag?
hmm
Um, they may have 8 shirts and 2 pair of shorts.
And that is a true
Yeah,
story.
and 1 pair of socks.
And
Uh,
that is a true story.
so you know, we learned, they didn't. So you're
hmm
right. We do need that. What electronic wise was there anything else that other than,
Um,
I would tell you this, what about
what's that?
cords? You need to make sure
Cords.
you have cords for
hmm
everything
Cords are
because
important.
the outlets are
hmm
premium and you have that extender and multiple ports. Go
hmm
ahead and take advantage of that by charging as many things as you possibly can. So
hmm
like I have two phones, I have a watch, I have an iPad and a laptop. So when I come
hmm
to the party, I'm gonna take it all.
hmm
So one of the best things you can do is make sure you have enough cords so you can charge as many items at one time that you can, because those cords will come in very handy.
hmm
Even your shaver, I use an electric shaver, so it's like I gotta have make sure all my cords are there, and it deserves its own line, right? So don't say extender check and cords need to be on a separate line and the
hmm
number that you need to bring to make sure you cover everything. But there's one other item.
One thing I think is good. You can plug your stuff up all night long, but if you get up in the morning and you do an excursion or you go to shows, you don't always want to have to go all the way back to your room to charge. Portable chargers are good,
Yes. Yes.
but portable chargers only work if they are charged. So,
Correct.
lesson learned. If you're going to bring a portable charger, charge that up at night. Charge that up at night with your phone or whatever. So that way, if you leave for an excursion, if you know you're going to be gone for the day, maybe you're doing some family feud or some karaoke, you have that portable charger with you. Because the last thing you want to do is have to stop what you're doing and go back to the room to charge your stuff up all the time.
And I would say that's really important for those that have the international plans or they come with your
Mm,
phone plan. I know if you're Verizon or AT&T, they have these unlimited. If you have unlimited line, then you get international coverage anyway. And believe me, it's not the same. When you're in a foreign country, it will drain your battery. So
Mm-hmm.
you need the portable charger. Good move on that.
There's one other thing,
Well,
and if everyone may not need this, but I do, I'm very hot natured. And so if some of those rooms, particularly the interior rooms, they can get a little stuffy, whether it's winter or summer. A fan was a lifesaver. There's some that are just chargeable. You can bring one that runs with the battery. One, I love the one that clips on to stuff because you can move it wherever you need it. They're small,
oh
they can
yeah,
clip on to the table next to the bed, but you may find, even though you have your own climate control in your room, you may find, if you're like me, that it may not be cool enough. And depending on what season of life you're in as a woman, you will definitely want a fan.
yeah, because it can be 32 degrees outside and 33 in the room, but somebody's going to want a fan. I'm not sure how, but it happens.
Mm-hmm. All right, what else?
So, if you cover the basics with electronics, the next thing you got to look at is just looking at your toiletries and
Mm.
what are you bringing in that bag. For me, I'm not fully over motion sickness. I'm getting better with every cruise. But so I've tried different products. The patch always falls off in the summer cruises because
Mm-hmm.
it's hot and you're sweating.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pill you can take, but you gotta make sure you take care of your toiletries, and you want to make sure you pre-pack those because
Mm-hmm.
buying them, you may think I'll just buy it if I need it. Well, if you want to pay $25 for one pill, maybe. But otherwise, hey, let's go to Dollar Tree. Let's stack up. Let's
Mm-hmm.
go to Dollar General. Let's stack up. Let's go to Wally World, over to Walmart. Let's grab some of these
Mm-hmm.
things that are inexpensive now before you board that ship.
And for motion sickness, I have kind of a medical background. I don't get motion sickness, so it's not something that I struggle with. But people I know that do, they found out it works better if you start taking the pill, the patch, whatever you're taking before the cruise. You
Absolutely.
don't want to wait until you're on the boat to put it on there, or wait until you're in the
Yeah.
throes of motion sickness to put it on, but to put it on a day or two before your cruise, so that way it's in your system and working.
I would say that's absolutely correct. I got the
Mm-hmm.
biggest bang benefit. I did start taking the pills early, didn't feel anything. Now, it also could be that we're on some large ships.
Yeah.
And so the really large ships really don't rock like that. But
Mm-hmm.
nonetheless, no motion sickness.
And for people who have, some people get motion sickness, it's not related to the rocking. Just the fact that they look out and they don't see land,
And they
they're
see a bunch of
already,
water.
yeah, things are
Yeah,
not good.
yeah.
So if that's something you struggle with, don't wait till you get on the boat to take it.
I will say this: the part of that helped me whenever I thought I was about to be sick was sometimes we were close enough to a port you could see land. And when you focus on
Mm-hmm.
land, that really does work, right? So I can tell you that, but that's a non-medical remedy for you. Just go out and buy, $3. Get the pill. Take
Mm-hmm.
those pills before you go.
And not only motion sickness pills, but Tylenol,
Yes.
Benadryl, ibuprofen, Band Aids, anything like that. You want to get it because on the boat, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. And even if you say, oh, we'll get it on a port day, well, you don't know how expensive that will be. You don't know where it'll be. There may be a language barrier. So
Yeah.
going to, like you said, Dollar General, Dollar Tree, getting that $1.25 bottle of ibuprofen, $1.25 bottle of Tylenol or Benadryl or sleep aid or whatever you might need that is over the counter, I would do that before you get on the boat.
Absolutely. And I think you could take $10 and go to Dollar Tree, and you're going to fill your basket, and that's it's really really good.
Yes, you will.
There's some great.
Mm-hmm.
I think on every aisle there's something really good at Dollar Tree that you can pack for your
Mm-hmm.
cruise. As a matter of fact, we may actually go into Dollar Tree and actually do it. It's going to
Okay.
be interesting, but
Yeah, yeah, it will.
I think we'll have two different dollar amounts though.
Yeah,
I think I
yeah,
could manage to spend $50 in Dollar Tree on cruise stuff
yeah.
easily.
And only need 10. But yes, yes.
Yeah, I can see that
Yeah,
happening. I can
uh-huh.
see that happening.
Yeah.
So you get past that part of it. I will say there's one caveat that I would add to the toiletries and the medicine. Some ports do have pharmacies,
Mm.
and some people do enjoy going to those pharmacies. We're not endorsing those,
No.
but some people do it.
Yeah.
They enjoy going to those
You may
pharmacies.
find in some places like Mexico that pharmacy may sell things that in the States you have to have a prescription for. Not that we're endorsing that or encouraging that, but there are people who literally will do that.
Yeah, they,
Every time they cruise, they come back with a bag full of goodies.
and yes, customs let you come right in with them, so don't worry about
We think,
it.
but we're not sure. I
Oh
think
yeah,
another thing you
yes.
want to remember, some people, maybe men, women, whoever, they may not necessarily care about the quality of their soap or their
Oh,
shampoo or their conditioner. A lot of the cruise ships have it where maybe it's in a little dispenser or there's a bar in the room. If you are particular about your lotion, your shampoo, your conditioner, that would be something else I would hit up before you get on the boat.
so I would tell you one of the best places I like to go, even though I don't want to squirrel off into rabbit trail. But I will say this: when you go to Walmart and they have that wall
Of
of travel
samples. Uh-huh.
size stuff,
Mm-hmm.
man, you can get like 20 of those things. Almost in every bin is something great to have on a cruise, but don't because of the packing. You got to pack a lot,
Mm-hmm.
but that's you want to get your stuff. You know, get your soap from there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, unless it's quite a few of you, then just get your full size bar. But
Yeah.
certainly, you're absolutely right. You know, you
And
have
you
your
want to look at how
preference,
long your cruise
right?
is because those sample travel sizes of toothpaste are great. But I'd say if you have a 7, 10 longer day cruise, that's probably pushing it.
Yeah, you want to get a full size,
Yeah.
full size.
So
Get
keep
up
in
to a full
mind.
size,
Mm-hmm.
or just pack a lot of mints. You know, hey,
That is not a plan. That is not a plan.
just pack a lot
That
of
is
mints.
not a
Yeah,
plan.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
a plan. Um, Something else. Once you've cruised, you realize there's not a lot of space in those rooms. The bathrooms are, I think maybe we stood in there together and it was touch and go. But
No,
there's
I don't think we stood there together. I think one of us was in the shower and
it's
one was,
something. Yeah,
yeah, we didn't
it's
stand
tight.
side by side. That's not happening.
So something you may want to think about is how you can organize your bathroom stuff. You can be fancy and get like those shoe
Oh
organizers that
yeah,
go over the
absolutely.
door.
Mhm.
Some people that are a little less fancy, they may say just Ziploc bags, a Ziploc bag of skincare, a Ziploc bag of soap, a Ziploc bag. But you want to have some way to organize your stuff because those bathrooms are small and you will literally just have piles of stuff everywhere. And there's not a lot of counter space.
No,
That
not at
counter
all.
space, they may have, I don't know, a foot of space.
That's it. But take advantage of the shelving. I always take the
Hmm.
top shelf,
Sometimes they
right?
have
I
shelving.
just make
Yeah.
sure I take a towel, line it, and I put all my stuff on the
Hmm.
top shelf. And I just reach up each time when I want
Hmm.
something, and which allows my wife to have more counter space by taking the middle shelf and the counter.
Hmm.
But nonetheless, it's not a lot of space. It is
No.
not a lot of space.
And so
Um,
finding some way to organize it, just
yes.
you will find that, especially because some days you may be in and out of that room changing clothes depending on what you've done that day. So if you have toothpaste, face cleaner, lotion, deodorant, if you have all that stuff all over the place, it just becomes a lot more hectic.
And I will say this: when you organize your room, to me, it increases the size of that cabin.
Hmm.
When things are neatly tucked away, you just have
Hmm.
more space to do things.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
you're right.
yeah.
You're right. Something else to touch on, when you cruise, at least most of the ones we've seen, you are usually able to bring a 12 pack of soda for every person cruising. Um, and you might think, oh, but if you don't get a soda package, you're not going to have soda on most cruise ships. They have a soda package or some kind of package. So if you can get a 12 pack of soda per person, that's great. And like for us, once we cruise with four
Mhm.
people, we could have had 48 sodas, even though only two people drank it. So it would have worked out well. We haven't yet done that, I don't think.
No, we haven't. And just in terms of,
But we're not really big soda
yeah, we're
drinkers.
not big soda
And
drinkers,
you can
right?
also bring on wine, but we're not, we don't drink wine. But you can, I think, I don't know exactly what the stipulations are, but check with that. Usually you'll get lots of written literature about that, about what you can bring and
Right.
can't bring.
Because
Water,
some,
you cannot bring. You
yeah,
can
water
pre
you
order
can.
it, You can pre-order it, but you can't bring it.
And it's worth it to pre-order. I will say this though, on the
Mm-hmm.
wine, be careful. Some cruise lines require a cork fee. Even and look, you could probably take the cork off yourself, and you probably end up with it, but they'll still charge you the cork fee. So just
Mm-hmm.
check with your cruise line to make sure it's okay. But you're absolutely right. Pre-ordering the water is the move to go, even though it's still a little pricey on the
Mm-hmm.
pre-order. You're going to want water, and if you buy it on the ship, you're going to pay $10, $12 a bottle. Whereas you pre-order, it's something like you know convenience store priced
Mm-hmm.
water, so it's a little bit higher than you would
Mm-hmm.
see at some of your major stores where you're
Mm-hmm.
paying 25 cents a bottle. It's not going to be that great,
No.
not at all.
And while we're on water, because you do have unlimited, most times, even if you don't get the drink package, you have the unlimited, tap water. What is it? Tea,
Tea and
lemonade,
lemonade and coffee.
coffee, just basic coffee. What I found helped was because you're moving around a lot. If you didn't
Supplies.
happen to remember water, to order water, bring a water bottle, and you can always refill it
Yes.
with whatever they have, or they have ice. You can always refill it. Um, I did it, but I bought the cheaper ones. This is not a time I would suggest you bring your Yeti or something like that,
Right.
because it is very easy to get lost or left, or you forget it somewhere. But you can always go and get those plastic, just reusable water bottles that are cheaper. I would highly suggest that.
Yeah, especially if you're cruising in any of the warmer climates, because
Mm,
you're going to want water. You'll see water's at a premium,
yeah.
and you'll notice at a premium because everywhere you go, they're selling it. So you know it's at a premium. Um,
Yeah.
but speaking of premiums, there's a premium on space,
Mm,
and so this could really reduce the size of your cabin if you get it wrong, and that's having the right suitcase, the right
mm,
size suitcase, and how you pack. And the reason why I say that because you get the right suitcase, they fit nicely underneath your bed, so they're out of sight, they're out of the way,
mhm.
increasing space, room that you have to maneuver in that cabin. When you have to make a whole separate space for your suitcase, that's reducing the size of your room.
Mhm.
And why or how can you get the right size suitcase? Depends on what you're packing in there and how you pack.
True, true. I know for us, I try to get just the average size suitcase, not the giant one.
Mm-hmm.
I try to get an average size suitcase and maybe a backpack. Um, because as you said, if you can get in, we usually get in and immediately take our stuff out of our suitcase, put it in the shelves and the drawers and the little closet they have, and then you immediately put your suitcase away. And like you said, it does make the room feel roomier. If you are our two sons that went, they kind of did a different approach. They just unpacked their suitcase and just left clothes overflowing the entire length of the cruise. So it was an obstacle course just walking in there, jumping over
Wow.
and stepping up. But it's so much better to me to take your stuff out, hang it up, put it in a drawer, put your suitcase away.
Well, you're very liberal with the word unpack their suitcase. They unzipped the suitcase
Yeah.
and then started to wear clothes right out of that.
Yeah.
So it's clothes everywhere. But
Hmm.
I would say that how you pack is important. We've
Hmm.
got to if just throwing the clothes in suitcases is not what you want to do when you're about to cruise. You want to
Hmm.
make sure that you neatly fold each item because you can get more in that suitcase
Hmm.
once it is neatly folded and kind of compartmentalized so that you have each one of those items in a suitcase in a spot you can get more things in. So consider that, especially when you think you're going to want to dress up for formal night to go
Hmm.
to the main dining hall. You want to make sure you have the right shoes and that sort of thing. So you need the space that's in that suitcase.
Yeah. And I think what helps with space, sometimes when I've packed in the past, I just made a point to put in, 10 shirts, 10 shorts, or 10 shirts, 10 pants. Cruising, it helped when I picked out outfits because
Mm.
you will find, unlike some things, you may need to change 2 or 3 times. You may get up in the morning, go on an excursion, be out on the beach all day, then come back for a formal night or a white night or whatever. Well, then now you want to change clothes again. So it was good to know, like, okay, this is a swimsuit outfit, whatever that entails. This is a main dining room outfit. This is a sea day outfit. So it helps with organizing because you don't want to get there and say, well, I have 10 shirts and I have 10 pants, but they don't all make outfits.
Right.
So you may want to pick an outfit or at least have an idea. With that said, one thing, I don't know if you noticed it, the first cruise we went on, people talked about, oh, there's formal night, there's this, there's that. So we did our part. You get there and you realize apparently we're the only ones that
Yeah.
knew.
Yeah.
Everybody didn't know about formal night because some people look like they just came right from the excursion to the main dining room, which, no one's going to stop you, but it is just good to at least know
Right.
that and at least be prepared.
And that's really what packing is all about, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to really, really be prepared. Now, with that being said, there's some things that you do not need to pack.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I think one thing is good, and this kind of goes back to clothes. Uh, the first cruise I think I went on, I would say about 30% of the clothes I never wore.
Mm. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
find some people like that. I mean, I was really amazed at what some of the people packed. Some people had, they like they're going to prom, but so you have to really think about. And your first cruise, I would not. I'd overpack on your first cruise because to me, you'd rather have too many clothes than not enough.
Right.
But I think one thing for me, this is just me, shoes take up a lot of space. So for me, I made a point to not bring 5, 6, 7 pairs of shoes. I did have a pair, I think, of tennis shoes because there's a lot of walking. And if
Yes.
if comfort is something you want tennis shoes. I think there were a pair of shoes I could wear to the beach, flip flops or something that's appropriate for the beach. And then maybe something for a night if I dressed up a little more formal, maybe a nice sandal. But some people had 7, 8 pairs of shoes. I don't even know where they put all those shoes, but that's just my suggestion. Try to find shoes that you can wear in several occasions.
Right, because I would say that's part of not overpacking, though.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, we want you to overpack in terms of having extra clothes, but you don't want to really overpack because at some point now the work you put in a workout just getting your luggage
Mm-hmm.
to the porters so they can load on the ship, and then think about it, your room attendant is really the one that's
Mm-hmm.
they get the luggage on the floor, but then they move it to the cabin. So
Yeah.
let's not just have extra weight just to have extra weight,
Yeah.
right?
That's
That's
something.
definitely one of the don'ts of
Yeah.
cruise
Another
ship
one.
packing.
We talked about plugs, and I don't know if we said that or not, but you can't bring surge protectors.
Don't bring
The
it.
strips, they do not want those.
They will confiscate
Mm-hmm.
those. Those will not be in your bag by the
Mm-hmm.
time you get to your room. Absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
But I would add to that on the don't list is don't pack alcohol, right? Don't be that person
You mean
that
illegal or
the illegal. Don't put your beers in there. Don't think I'm gonna get
yeah.
some gin in there. Don't say, well, if I put it in, 4 pair of pants over it, they won't see it. Don't be that person, right?
Mm,
Let it go. Like just leave it there. It's not that necessary. So
mm.
let's not even take the chance of doing that.
Well, I'm gonna go on a limb. Just don't pack anything illegal.
Ah, that's correct. Yeah.
Guns, illegal drugs. I mean,
Nothing.
we've heard stories.
Yeah, yeah.
People do get, taken to what is it, the cruise ship jail. So just don't do it. Just
All right.
don't do it.
And I know we've all seen those videos people post and what
Mm-hmm.
they've managed to get through security, but
Uh-huh.
they forget that, remember, these cruise lines, there you have social media presence as well, so they're
Mm-hmm.
watching videos like you're going to get caught, you just outed yourself, and in some cases you're going to be banned, and
Mm-hmm.
you have to ask yourself, is it really worth it to do that?
It is not.
Yeah.
There's one thing I forgot on the 2-pack list.
Oh.
And this may, I don't know if it's for everyone, but that first embarkation day, it, depending on what time you get on the boat, it can be a while from the time you get on the boat to the time you get to your luggage and your room. So, what I found helped a lot was backpacks. I had my own backpack before our boys. I even got like the small drawstring backpacks because it may be, what would you say, 4 or 5 hours from the time or more from the time you
Well,
get on to you time you get to your room.
yeah, if you have priority boarding,
Mm-hmm.
which each time we've had, then you're boarding, sometimes around 10:30 or so, and rooms aren't ready till 1:30 generally. And so
Mm-hmm.
what happens in all that time, you're waiting. And if it's a large ship, guess what? Your luggage won't be at your room unless you have the key. Now, if you have the key, yeah, it'll be inside your room. Just you know, but
Mm-hmm.
if you're not Royal Caribbean and have the key, then that luggage is not inside your room. It's not even at your door until late in the afternoon. So the only thing you'll have from boarding time at 10:30 to about 3:30, 4 o'clock, and sometimes it was kind of much later for
Mm-hmm.
Jubilee. It was into the evening before the luggage actually made its way to the floor. Then the only thing you have is what you place in that backpack. So
Mm-hmm.
that backpack is critical. And the way I think about the backpack is if I didn't have my luggage, do I have everything I essentially need
Mm-hmm.
right on my shoulder?
And yeah, IDs, cash. That's where you would put your portable charger. So that was the one thing that we did. Make sure our wallet, our ID, our credit card, any of that stuff is in that bag, because you may need it for a while. It's also for some people, we didn't do it, but some people, because the pools are available to you, they put their swimsuit in there
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
hung out at the pool while they waited for their room. So there are a couple of things you could do, and I also think for the rest of the cruise, I either use that small backpack. Some people, I'm not a big fanny pack person, but some people do that, or they do the crossbody. Just something you have on you so you're not lugging big, huge things around, but you have something simple to keep a portable charger, your cell phone, your wallet.
Yeah, I think all those are good things. Make
Hmm.
sure you have cords because you want to make sure you can charge everything you need. Now, I will say this: that's one of the best things you can have with you on
Hmm.
embarkation day. But this one is the bonus. I would say pack your patience
Oh,
because cruise lines are great. They really are about
mhm.
getting you through the line. When you think about the thousands of
Yeah.
people who are getting off and on and all the luggage are moving, but still
Mhm.
pack your patience. Know
Yeah.
the process. As many, we're going to post videos of going through the boarding process, but still you need to make sure you research as much as possible, know the different stops you'll make, and be
Hmm.
very patient. This is they get you through as quick as they possibly can,
Hmm.
but if you're on a mega ship, just think
Mm.
you have 5, 6, 7,000 passengers getting on with you. And so the just be patient with that process and just know
Hmm.
you will be on that ship. It is designed to get you on that ship
Hmm.
and at that sail away party so they can pull away from that dock
On time.
on time.
Yeah.
So just pack your patience.
Yeah, and I do think, like you said, some people might assume if they've never cruised that you're going to walk onto that boat, go straight to your room, and your luggage is there. It can be 4 or 5 hours
Yeah,
at least. So pack your patience, enjoy. Take that's also a great time to explore the ship while you're waiting. That's a
absolutely.
great time to explore the
Absolutely.
ship.
And you would want to just grab some other things and take a look at some things. That's probably in one of my shorts about how to find what activities are happening that day, and then you want to just that's a great time to do that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Don't focus on I have to be in the room, have to be in the room, because that's not going to happen right away.
Yeah, and if you need other ideas for packing, you can Google, which I was surprised on our first cruise. You can Google cruise packing list. They're all over the place. Amazon has several. They're all over the place. And even with that list, I would look at it and think of the things we've talked about. Think of yourself, your own
Mm-hmm.
situation. You will not need every single thing on that list. There were some things they suggested, and I was like, I cannot imagine how or why I would ever need that. But they're at least good so you can look at it, you can comparison shop. They have great deals, look different prices. Magnets were something that were very useful, so keep that in mind. You can always look on
Yeah.
Amazon, you can always Google cruise packing list.
Yeah, you're absolutely right because they have things like the wrinkle-free
Hmm.
release spray,
Hand sanitizer.
uh, and for packing purposes, some of
Hmm.
us needed that wrinkle-free spray a lot. Hand sanitizer is always good. Now they have a lot of places on the ship, but remember when you get off the ship, you're going on excursions, going different places.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer is really big. So
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best things we learned from cruising. The lessons of what we pack, and we still take a good while to get things packed. I would tell you, if you're a first time cruiser, you definitely want to Google. You may even want to replay the video, kind of break it down in parts, make sure you're following that process, those steps, so that you have what you need. The worst thing you do is get on a sea day and you know there's nowhere anywhere near
Mm.
for you to get the items you need. So it take a little bit extra time and make sure you get the packing right.
And as always, this is yet another thing that you will learn more after your first cruise, because you will pack stuff that first cruise and think, man, I really didn't even use that. Or you might say, I really wish I had packed XYZ. So take your time, enjoy it, do your research.
And I'll tell you, look, if it's your first cruise, it applies the same. I tell you each and every time I'm on here, life is short.
So cruise more.